Welcome back to New Rockstars, I'm Erik Voss, and will Captain America Brave New World be a battle of Hulks? President Thaddeus Ross has confirmed to transform into Red Hulk in this film, as the world of the MCU descends into a mad scramble over adamantium recovered from the corpse of the celestial Tiamat from the Eternals film. With Thunderbolt Ross and Samuel Stearns the leader as the villains of this film, this is shaping up to be a sequel to the 2008 Incredible Hulk film, as much as it is anything else, and I feel like Marvel's willingness to spoil Red Hulk's involvement can only mean that they have some other big stunt spectacle still under wraps. And the studio's most loose-lipped leaker is making everyone think that the regular Hulk, Green Hulk, could appear in this fourth Captain America film too. So does Brave New World need to be so brave because it's blowing up into World War Hulks? I'm so freaking pumped for this movie, and between now and February of next year, I'm gonna be itching to wear the best Marvel gear to gear up for it, and nerdride.shop has us covered with some fresh Marvel-inspired designs. Support New Rockstars by grabbing one of these at nerdride.shop. The new trailer for Captain America Brave New World ends with the reveal of Thaddeus Ross, Harrison Ford in this movie, having transformed into Red Hulk, facing down Captain America Sam Wilson, grabbing his vibranium shield and slamming it into the pavement. We know this is Thaddeus Ross because Anthony Mackie Instagrammed a photo of himself and Harrison Ford on set, showing Ford wearing similarly tattered pants. This fight, by the way, is happening in peak cherry blossom season in Washington, D.C., and many of you noted that the cherry blossom tree was originally a gift from Japan to the United States in 1912, which is interesting because this movie looks like it is showing an escalating conflict between the United States and Japan over adamantium ore discovered in the corpse of Tiamat in the Indian Ocean. But also, this part of Washington, D.C. is familiar to Sam Wilson as it's part of the morning jogging route where he met Steve Rogers in 2014's Captain America the Winter Soldier.
Don't say it. Don't you say it.
You left.
Come on!
Thaddeus Ross becomes Red Hulk in the 2010 World War Hulks storyline when the organizations of AIM and the intelligentsia gave him this ability as a way to confront Bruce Banner's Hulk. We'll get to a brief plot summary of that storyline a bit later, but it's important to note that while Red Hulk's power and stamina are roughly on par with that of the Hulk, he is also capable of absorbing radiation, so that when he gets angrier, he does not get bigger or stronger, but it does cause him to emit increasing heat. He basically explodes with fire. So will the Harrison Ford version of the character in this movie include that detail? We'll see. It could just be enough of a spectacle to have a Red Hulk, President Indiana Jones, fighting blue-winged Captain America among some cherry blossoms. It's kind of like Marvel's trying to remind us of the floating petals in the Oracle Dome and the Stark Expo and Iron Man 2. But if Red Hulk does only become more explosive with heat, that would make things exceedingly difficult for Sam, because he wouldn't be able to apply suppressive fire from Red Wing. He can't get that close to Red Hulk with his jet thrusters. Like, he clearly tried to hit him with his shield, but that doesn't seem to be working. So, given the setting here, could Sam hear a familiar on your left from a former vet of the Battle of Earth, Bruce Banner? The reason we think Ruffalo might be involved here is that when this trailer dropped on July 12th, Mark Ruffalo shared it on social media with a green tea emoji. And back in February, Mark Ruffalo appeared at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival and seemed to, at first, indicate that he could appear in this film.
Captain America Brave New World, that's next, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2025. And are you allowed to talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be great.
All right. Guess what we're going to play
Barry,
now?
it's Barry's looking. They literally have like a drone that follows me.
Now, right after this, Variety reported several sources who backpedaled and claimed that Ruffalo would not be in the movie, that he just misspoke or was taken out of context, and really, he was just aware of the movie coming out and he was excited for it as an outside observer. But I have to point out, the fact that Mark Ruffalo brought up Barry and joked about a drone following him suggests that he was under explicit instructions not to say anything about his involvement in the Captain America Brave New World film, because Barry refers to Barry Curtis, Marvel's head of security. This guy cameoed as a mall security guard in Captain Marvel and as Officer R. Bobbitt in the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. This guy in real life is the one who oversees all Marvel set security and makes sure the talent working on these projects do not leak anything in interviews. This was the Barry that Mark Ruffalo referred referred to when he famously spoiled Avengers Infinity War in July 2017, which was almost a full year before it released.
Wait till you see this next one. Everybody dies.
Dude.
Not everybody. Is Barry gonna be mad at me?
I will always replay that clip anytime we bring it up. But why would Mark Ruffalo worry so much about Barry in this moment if he truly had no involvement in the fourth Captain America film? If you're a runner and a Marvel fanatic, then it is high time you started indulging both of your passions at once with Marvel Move. Marvel Move is an immersive audio fitness experience from the creators of Zombies Run. You walk, run, or jog in the real world as audio from the app makes you feel like you're fighting alongside characters like the Hulk, Doctor Strange, or the X-Men.
You better run, Buck.
Marvel Move is a fully featured fitness app with GPS run mapping, step tracking, and stats. But the really unique factor is the motivation you'll get from progressing through thrilling Marvel stories. In case you're new to running and could use some guidance, a Marvel Move subscription includes Thor and Loki's 5K training, an 8-week-long program that will train you to run your first 5 kilometer with 12 hours of audio drama. When you run with Marvel Move, you're the protagonist in an epic adventure. There's no feeling quite like taking on Sentinels alongside the X-Men or running away from an out-of-control Hulk, which is my personal favorite.
Clear the street.
New workouts are released regularly with stories from A-list writers like Teenie Howard and Jerry Duggan, plus more series and new characters coming later this year. Download the ZRX app on iPhone and Android to try Marvel Move for 1 week for free. And when you're ready to dive in, head to zrx.app/newrockstars and use coupon code newrockstars at checkout for 50% off your first month. Now, Captain America Brave New World does seem to be using elements of the World War Hulks from 2010, at least by featuring Hulk villain The Leader, Samuel Stearns, returning from 2008's Incredible Hulk film. There are only 2 shots of the leader in the trailer, one with his green hand visible as a videographer or photographer at the White House event, and in another moment when he's calling someone on the phone from inside a house, and in both shots his head is covered, making me think that his head might be a little enlarged. In the 2010 World War Hulk's storyline, number 23 of that series explores the Red Hulk's origin and reveals Red Hulk to be Thaddeus Ross, something we did not know up until that point. In a flashback, we see Ross sitting in a bar watching the news of Captain America's assassination from the end of the Civil War crossover event, drinking away his sorrows after his daughter Betty Ross was killed by Abomination. During this time, Hulk was off-world, exiled by the Illuminati. Ross gets approached by the Leader and MODOK, and they tell him that the Hulk would be returning to Earth to seek vengeance against those who exiled him. And sure enough, Hulk did return in the events of the 2007 World War Hulk storyline. And then following this, the Leader, MODOK, Ross, and Doc Samson form a group of conspirators using the name Intelligentsia, and they siphon energy from the Hulk once he returns using satellites, and they use this energy to turn Ross into Red Hulk. And they end up replacing Ross with a life model decoy so that no one would suspect that Ross equaled Red Hulk. Now, in the MCU, we did meet a version of the Intelligentsia in She-Hulk. It was revealed to be a group of bros using an online forum to bully and discredit She-Hulk and to steal her DNA, which they gave to their leader, Todd, turning him into Hulk Todd. But Jen breaks the fourth wall into our reality to ask the Kevin robot to alter the storyline so that Hulk Todd never happens, and instead, Todd just gets arrested. But we were never totally clear if the Intelligentsia was only ever that forum of guys, or if it might have been an online front used as a disinformation campaign by a more sinister, a more effective shadow organization, you know, someone who actually would be competent enough to turn Jennifer Walters' blood into a serum that could make another new Hulk. Like, that group seemed really stupid, and at the end of the wedding episode of that season, there seemed to be a far more high-tech lab version of the organization that seemed like a kind of place where Samuel Stearns would work, as opposed to, you know, Todd from the internet. And the way She-Hulk ended by rewriting reality and dropping the Intelligentsia storyline, it's just kind of hard to know how much of that remained canon by the end of the season. Really, I don't know how much this fourth Captain America film will reference the events of She-Hulk. I'm guessing it won't at all. But the series did give a sense of how, in the MCU, characters can become hulked out, a transfusion of gamma irradiated blood. In Captain America Brave New World, I think Thaddeus Ross will be revealed to have had a personal health issue that he hid from voters, going back to this moment in Civil War.
5 years ago, I had a heart attack. I dropped right in the middle of my backswing. After 13 hours of surgery and a triple bypass, I found something 40 years in the Army and never taught me. perspective.
I think in this movie, we're gonna learn that that health issue, whatever it really was, is ongoing. But maybe with the political fallout after Secret Invasion with President Ritson, Thunderbolt Ross decided to run for president and bring stability to the country, but his illness worsens and he has to resort to controversial treatments from an intelligentsia-like group that includes Samuel Stearns and a former Black Widow agent turned high-ranking government official, Ruth Bat-Sarat. And I think the reason Bruce Banner, Hulk, could come into this conflict, the Hulk inhibitor device, the device that Bruce was wearing on his arm in the Shang-Chi post-credit scene and in She-Hulk, which allowed him to revert to human form. I think Sam and Bruce are going to work together to manually restrain Red Hulk while Sam uses Red Wing to try to attach the device and return Ross to human form temporarily. We know that at some point he's going to be successful, because why would Harrison Ford be wearing already torn pants for whatever that scene was in Anthony Mackie's set photo? So, do you think Captain America Brave New World is secretly a World War Hulks movie? Comment down below with your thoughts. Follow me at EA Voss. Subscribe to all 3 channels in the new Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.